Hey guys, we're getting close to firing this guy up. It's a 1999 YZ400 four-stroke, and I rebuilt the cylinder head, new valves, new valve guides, um, lapped in the valves. Started to assemble. I redid this. I'm missing the heat shield, but I found this heat. It's almost like a real heavy wool wrap. Kind of using that as the heat shield. I think it looks pretty cool. I don't know. Didn't do much. I painted the bike, and that was supposed to be a factory blue, but it's too dark. It's almost dark midnight blue. Very dark. Brakes work. Chain isn't in bad shape. It looks like it needs a new one because it's kind of flatted on top. But it looks okay. Like the sprockets look okay and everything. Freshened up the carburetor, nothing really wrong inside this little tap here. The O-rings were shot, so I put new O-rings in it. Here is the hot start deal. I've been reading online, and a lot of people don't even use it on a hot start. They'll pull the choke, and I couldn't find a replacement for that, but it's okay. I think I'm gonna have to figure out something like a knurled button or something knurled I can replace that with. I gotta tighten these guys down yet. I gotta find one more bolt that fits that. Have the radiators on. They're on solid. Everything looks good. Got the clutch on, clutch cable, manual adjuster. I told you why I don't like the auto adjusters. They're the cause for more of these cylinder heads going to hell, because these auto adjusters are just, they don't work well. And maybe they work better on the newer 2020 bikes, 2019s, 2021s, whatever. The older bikes, they work like crap, and they did a lot of damage to. But my intentions on this bike is, once I get it running, I'll probably just sell it. I just, it's got, even though without a spark plug in it, it has compression that you wouldn't believe. Man, it just shoots out the spark plug when you kick it over. Gotta remount this guy. It's all cattywampus. Front brake works. Or that's the other side. The compression release works. No. I'm glad it still has the guards on. The fork guards are still on. The rims are in really good shape. No dents, no bends. Whoever originally owned this bike must have raced it or did something with it, but it had an hour meter, and I saw on the hour meter it said 58 hours. And I think that's pretty accurate. It has a factory connection, I imagine valved suspension, so that's kind of cool. That's like finding gold. And I painted the engine black simply because I feel it's easier to keep them clean, and when they get muddy, they're easier to clean. When they're the aluminum, it seems like the dirt just gets ingrained. I think a lot of these factories, they'll paint this stuff, but then they won't paint the cylinder heads, and it just gets really ingrained and dirty, and it's really hard to keep clean. And you know, where they look nice, you know, and granted, a lot of people own a lot of these dirt bikes, motocross bikes, are younger kids, and they don't keep up with maintenance on them. So yeah, I'm hoping. I still got a few things to go. I gotta bolt this guy up, the exhaust. Gotta figure out how am I gonna bolt. I think I'm just gonna use some Phillips, metric Phillips screw bolts to hold these on. They fit pretty tight. Fenders look okay. Gas tank, it's bubbled up because the fuel gas has come through. The other thing I'm missing is this lid, and I gotta figure I'm gonna have to get a chunk of plastic, and then I'm thinking of just drilling a bunch of holes, maybe, or just drilling holes on this side. So if water does come in, it just comes in and hits the backside and drains out. But I'm thinking something like that. And that should be it for that. This is gotta be tight. Roller's tight. The slider inside is not in bad shape. Roller is in good shape there. Now it's just a matter of putting oil in it. I wanted to clean the Yamahas have a oil filter or screen here, and the problem is it's got a bolt here, I got a bolt here, I got a bolt here, right where the exhaust is. So I got a feeling I gotta loosen this up, loosen that up, loosen this stuff up, crank it up, pull the whole thing up so I can get to it before I put oil in this thing. The other thing that kind of confused me, and I wasn't sure, really didn't know, because I don't have a full manual for this bike, but I guess you just put the oil through here, and then the oil drains into the bottom half, and see, that's an oil drain right here. So I take that off and then drain out what's left, and then put in fresh stuff. But yeah, that's your oil drain for your, basically this is your oil bag. This whole section is your oil bag in front, because these are dry sump systems, and what that means is that it pulls the oil out, kind of puts it through the frame where this is supposedly cooling the oil before it goes back into the system to lubricate the oil, and gets sucked back out. But there's, like I said, there's an oil filter or screen here. Not sure. Some had screens, some had oil filters. Not sure which one this one has. So we gotta look at that. Not gonna mess with the tires or nothing. They're fine. I mean, these are a little rubbed out and a little worn. Probably needs new. But I'm planning on selling this bike. I'm not gonna ask a lot of money. I think I'll probably put it out there for like $1,300 once I get it running, and that'll probably be it. I have two. I'm just not too thrilled with doing too many 4-strokes. They're fine. I love the power. They have great power, But these damn things, it just turned into like road bikes. It takes forever to fix these damn things, and everything is so darn tight in there. Where I prefer on working on air-cooled two-strokes because it's just a simpler machine and a lot less going on. Even water-cooled, older water-cooled two-strokes, I don't mind. The newer ones with the KIP systems, the Yamaha, whatever, YPS system, the Suzuki system, the Kawasaki, whatever. I don't, they're a pain in the ass to set up. And there is adjustments to them all because you can't just leave them go. But and then the other project I got pretty good distance on. I changed some things. I couldn't find a headlight, so I had this light in a plastic package. So I thought to myself, well, why don't I just put this on? And then I just kind of bundled all the electrical behind it. You can't really see it too much, and the lights work now. I gotta check the ignition. That's the last thing that I need to look at. I cleaned everything out, the air box. There was a ton of just caked on premix oil and dirt. Clean that all out. I have a new fuel tap. The only thing I'm waiting on is this guy, a new throttle tube. The old one was junk and dangerous, so that's next. That's one of the few things, and then we're close to firing her up. Yeah, the front end is twisted. Once I get one of the Yamaha completed and down, and I can put the Suzuki up, I'm gonna have to jack up the front end and loosen everything up, loosen the fork pinch bolts up, and then realign everything, because guy must have hit something in the front end and then twisted the whole front end, which isn't a super big deal. It's just that where the pinch bolts are in the fork, they got twisted around, so now it's just not steering in the same direction the bars are going. So I don't know, I went and polished that chain guard. I think it looks cool, but I think, this bike is kind of reminds me of an old Picasso painting where just things are weird. You got something cleaned and polished, and then everything else, and then something else is new and other things. But I rebuilt the carb. That's clean. I'm gonna clean the exhaust up. Here's the pipe. You can see it. That's the downpipe. I just got a wire wheel the hell out of it, clean it all up, paint it. I got to repair one of the exhaust brackets on it because it's cracked in half. It's cracked right there, right there, right along this junction. So yeah, this is coming along nicely, and I redid the wiring to the back, reconnected the wiring so it'll actually charge the battery back up. It was disconnected, and that's about it. I put a newer style fuse in there instead of the glass. It's one of the plastic spade connectors now. Put a new ground wire there, and connected the rear brake. I still have to repair the brake lever. It's bent, looks bent all up, and it's missing the spring that pulls the brake light on. Also missing is the excuse me, chain guard or chain guide guard thing. I sourced one out. Man, they are expensive. Even on eBay, I seen one for $75 and a couple for 100 and something. So I'm looking at that and kind of thinking we could do something better. Not sure what, but because there's a foot peg mounting bracket down there, and I can get some pieces of metal from work and just kind of put a nice chain guide with a rubbing block in there for the chain, and I think that'll suffice. That other little bracket right here was for the chain guide to come around and down along that side of the tire. But yeah, that's not gonna work. So there's a few things left on this bike, and well, I'm gonna try to video some of it because I get lost in my work sometimes, and I forget that I really should video some of this stuff just to see how things go and how I go about fixing it. I'm for right now choosing to ignore that. I'm just not. I don't know. A new gas or a better gas tank is just crazy money for these, and I tried using that puller. It uses some type of a temporary glue. Well, yeah, none of that crap worked. This metal is so darn thick on these gas tanks, there's no way that's going to pull out. The other option that I've seen was pumping it up with air. That people get injured doing that. So, and then some friends of mine suggested filling it with water and letting it freeze in the freezer. But I've seen where the water expands so much it actually deforms the gas tank and breaks the seams. So I don't think we're going to try any of that stupid stuff. So gotta look at the list again. Okay, rear tire. Got a new fuel tap. Grips, I'm just going to reuse some old ones. I'm not putting any more money into this guy until I get it running. And grips, what else? What does it say? Carb clean, done. Degrease, sort of done. Repair brake lever, haven't done that. Got a 12-volt battery. And I don't know what I wrote down for the last one. Clean and check something. I don't know what that. Brakes. Alright. Yeah, because the front brake is not feeling right. It's real, like, I don't know, it's probably bound up or just not, gotta clean it out. And the same thing with the back brake. The back brake is operated by a cable, so there's there's some mushiness, but so it'll be a fun bike to ride after a while. I'm still working on the zoomed up, trying to, I don't know what to do with it right now. Looking to, get it running, so for next year so I can ride out the motorcycle shows and whatnot. I do have a title for it, and would like to, yeah, get it running so I can ride out the bike shows and do whatever with it. But just haven't gotten the time. Um, well, let's. Well, we're gonna. I'll probably film that one day when I'm trying to start it, and we'll try to get it going. But that's a cool bike, fun to ride. Well, it should be fun to ride. And it's been over a year. I think I've had this bike over a year already, but it's kind of cool. We'll catch you guys later.